Good morning, everyone. We are, oh wow. Okay, so we are moving on. Moving on. We have been on transformations for a long time, and you can see all these different things. But now it is time to move to systems of equations. And it's April 22nd, just to give you a view of what we have left, because you're probably getting tired of the year. We got like a month left, right? Scientific notation, we will look into that. Probably not do everything here. And then we'll end the year with data and statistics. So don't stop. Oh, and there's my brother. If you get down to the bottom of the page. Okay, so don't stop yet. The reason why we're not stopping yet is because I want you guys to be ready for high school. And so we want to make sure that we dive into some of this stuff. Some of this stuff will make high school geometry and algebra a lot easier. Okay, so write down at the top of your notes solutions of systems of equations. And then write down this problem right here. Negative 3x minus 8y equals negative 8. And then y equals 2 minus x. So I should see that because I'm walking around the room. I should see that on your papers. This equation right here. And then we want to know, is 0, 1 a solution of the system? Okay, so this is going to be our big, I want everyone to watch this video, try this assignment, and because we're in class together, be able to get your questions answered. So before tomorrow, you can get 100% on this assignment. This one I know you can do if you're trying, because I'm going to show you. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to know, is 0, 1 a solution of the system? So 0 is an x and 1 is a y. For 0, 1 to be a solution to this system, it means that if I substitute 0, 1 into either equation, it works. Okay, so let's substitute. We're going to 0, 1, we're going to substitute 0, 1 into the top equation. So it's gonna look like this. Negative 3 times, instead of x, I'm gonna write 0, and then negative 8, but instead of y, I'm going to write 1 equals negative 8. So just so we're clear, I wrote that first equation, which I'm also writing right here. But instead of writing x, I wrote 0 because my point is 0, 1. And so I wrote 0 in place of the x. And instead of writing y, I wrote 1 because y is 1. Now we just do the multiplication. So negative 3 times 0 is 0. Negative 8 times 1 is negative 8. And then I bring down this negative 8. And now I do the subtraction. 0 minus 8 is negative 8. Bring down this negative 8. And is it true that negative 8 equals negative 8? Yeah, that's true. So we put a check mark. So that means that we can write true. We can say that 0, 1 is a solution. Yay. Okay. So that's good. It's a solution to the top one. But in order for me to check yes here, I also have to check the bottom. So let's go over here and we'll check the bottom. Y equals 2 minus x. That's the equation. But now in place of y, I'm going to write 1. And in place of x, I'm going to write 0 again. And now I'm going to do the math. 2 minus 0 is 2. Bring down the 1 from the other side. And it says 1 equals 2. Well, I'm going to put I don't want to put an x because we're all using x. I'm going to put a frowny face, because 1 is not equal to 2. This is false. So we're going to say false here because we got 0 equals, because we got 1 equals 2, and we know that 1 is not equal to 2. So I'm going to check no for this one. All right, let's check no and make sure we're right. So that's what we got to do. So let's write down the success criteria for this. What did we do? Type it. So I can identify the X and Y value in a ordered pair. You can't do this problem if you don't know that 0 is the X and 1 is the Y. Okay, so that's the first thing I did. I can identify label. Okay, so do that first. And then after that, I substitute it. So I can substitute X and Y into the equation. So we had to do that. So the first thing, label your ordered pair. Next thing, substitute X and Y into the equation. And then I can use, I don't know, you remember this is called order of operations. We had to multiply and then subtract. Order of operations to simplify a side of equation. Okay, so well on this one we wanted to get the left side to be a single number. On this one we wanted to get the right side to be a single number. And then the last step to know if it was true or false, we look and so I can determine if an equality is true or false. That's really simple because if it's going to be true, we need to see the same number on both sides. One, like here we had -8 equals -8. That's true. Here we had 1 equals 2. That's false. And then if I can determine if a solution I can determine if a ordered pair is a solution to a system. And that sounds really hard to do, but it's actually not, because all we had to do is make sure that it was a true equality in both of them. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 success criteria, but I wonder which one you think is the most difficult. I would think that it would be the order of operations, where we can miss negatives or make mistakes in multiplication. But if you're doing this on the computer, feel free to check yourself with the calculator. And the other parts of this are just easy fixes. So hopefully, if you have the success criteria, you watch this, and if you have any questions, just raise your hand right now. If not, then go ahead and try to get 100 on this. Okay? So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to clear all my drawings, and you can pause the video and you can try to get 100. But when you're done with that, so right now I should see some people pausing me and trying to get 100. And then when you're done, when you get 100, raise your hand. Me and Mr. Park can check you off. Okay, that is classwork for today. But then for some of you will get 100 faster than others. So I want to also do systems of equations with graphing right now. Okay, let's do this. But this, no pressure. Okay, this is another concept, and so I only want you to do this part after you've gotten 100 on the first part. All right. So here we go. All right, so I should not see you watching this video unless you have 100 on that first assignment. Okay, so we are now going to talk about systems of equations with graphing. So we are going to find those same solutions, but this time we are going to graph in order to find it. So remember, the solution to a system is a point, right? It's that ordered pair. And so this time we don't know what the ordered pair is, but we are going to graph it to figure it out. So we are going, I want you to write this, y equals negative 2x plus 7, and y equals 5x minus 7. And I'm getting a phone call from my wife. 1 second. Okay, she's fine. All right, so we're writing down on the paper these equations and then write this underneath or to the side like I am. Look for where the lines intersect. That is what we want to do. So in order to find out where the lines intersect, we have to graph them. In order to graph them, we have to know what form they're in. These are both in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to write slope in form, slope int form. So what is the slope? Do you remember? The slope is, and what is the intercept? Well, if you remember, is y equals mx plus b, and m is the slope, and b is the y-intercept. All right, so in this first one, the y-intercept is, if I write y equals mx plus b, then it lines right up. B is 7, and the slope is negative 2. So I put a point at 7, and I know that is rise over run, but I'm going to go down and right. Down dn is down, and rt is right. So I'd go down 2 and right 1, and that is my line right there. So I'm going to graph it on the computer, but I'm just showing you. And now how about the second one? What is the slope and the intercept? So the slope is 5, and the y-intercept is negative 7. So I'm going to put a point at negative 7, and this time the slope is positive. It's not a fraction, but I can make it into a fraction by putting it over 1. I'm going to go up 5 and right 1. Up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right 1. And then we'll see where that crosses. So I'm going to actually use these computer generated lines. Ugh, okay, which are much better than my little lines. I'm going to erase my lines because they are distracting me. So I want to go up, down 7, or 2, 7. I want to go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right 1. So that would be right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right 1. Okay, and we see that the lines cross. And where do they cross? They cross right here. And what point is that right there? Just draw in that point right here. And that has an x value of 2 and a y value of 3. That's the point 2, 3. I'm done. So the x value is 2 and the y value is 3. All right, so let's write success criteria. And this is solving a system in slope-intercept form. So solve system equations, slope-intercept form. I want you to notice that I'm abbreviating on purpose, because if we learn to abbreviate, then it makes things a lot easier to write. Okay. So I can identify slope-intercept form. Okay, you have to know y equals mx plus b. Then I can identify a slope y-intercept. Then we had to know which one was the slope and which one was the y-intercept. Then I can plot a point at the y-intercept. Make sure you don't accidentally put the y-intercept on the x-axis, for example. And then I can use the slope to get my second, oh my, second point. Graph. Okay, I can repeat this process to graph a second line, and then I can determine the coordinate where two lines cross or intersect, I can say. So I wonder if you notice that these success criteria we already did. 1, 2, 3, 4. All four of those we did in the fall. You have them somewhere in your notes already. But we're rewriting them for this process. So, and then even this just says repeat. So that's still part of that. The only new learning right here is, can you tell me where two lines cross? I think that you could tell me where two lines cross. So this is a really good exercise because it gives us review in a really important concept. You can see it's really important because you're using it again. There you go. All right, so that is what we're going to do today. And I am going to stop there for today. You know what? These are in standard form, so we might as well just do it. Okay. These are in standard. You know what? No, we're going to do this tomorrow. So if you get one of these and you know how to do it, if you remember how to do it, then you can do it. If not, I'm going to put this in the video tomorrow. So if you are on this assignment, you don't have to get 100%, but if you get the slope intercept form, I want you to try it. If you get these ones, I want you to feel no pressure, just put them in the organizer, but these are in standard form. And I can tell because the y and the x are on the same side. So if you remember that, you can do it. If not, then you can just put an answer for these and put them in the organizer and get ready to do them tomorrow. Okay? All right, that's all for now.